You're listening to WBK AM 1340.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We've got episode 3 of our podcast here. And we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff now.
We had some really good feedback on the last one.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, when you talk about the last one, you're talking about our first episode.
Technically the first episode. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Well, that's cool. Let's start off with what we were talking about when we were, just before we started. You're talking about getting some food. Is it, let me see. Let me look at okay, supper, right? Or dinner?
In this part of the country, when you say dinner, we would say tea. Now, I know a lot of people would think of the drink tea, but it's context that matters, and that's how it's decipherable. So if you say to somebody, what do you want for your tea? That's kind of like, that's enough to understand that's dinner, like food. Whereas if you say, do you want tea?
It's the
more
drink.
Often than not, it's the drink. Yeah, the hot tea. But other parts of the country, they say dinner or supper.
Supper,
or whatever.
yeah.
But we're known as Northerners. So, and don't get me wrong, there are people that are far more typically Northern than me. So I'm just going to give you my personal answers.
Okay, that sounds fine. I mean, you explained it in the first episode, anyways. Basically, where you are, and so we were just talking too, and I asked you what you're having, and you called it Chippa?
Chippy.
Chippy. There it is.
Yeah, we're
Chippy.
going to the Chippy.
Which, of course, is something I've never heard, and.
They tend to be all over the UK. They specialise in fish and chips.
Right.
Or, to you, that would be a battered cod or haddock with fries.
French fries.
Yeah. But they usually, if it's a good chippy, they'll be quite thick cut ones, proper, homemade.
Will they look kind of like a chip, or do they look exactly like our French fries? Your chips.
Yeah, so they're really thick if it's a good chippy, and you can tell they're fresh. You know what I mean? If they're using what we would call fries, would be, I believe, your French fries, then they're a bit lazy because it's frozen, they're easy to make, cheap. That's what people kind of want.
Right. Yeah. Over here, the nice and thick ones we call steak fries.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I love steak fries. But,
yeah, nice with a bit of peppercorn sauce or maybe a bit of ketchup, something like that. A fried egg, a bit of salt and pepper. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Getting carried away there.
I know. I'm just, I'm one of those people. Once you say one thing, it gets me started and off I go. I'm like one of those self-driving lawnmowers. I just can't stop.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. If you're not programmed right, you're going to go off the yard. So, at any rate,
I'm not programmed right.
Oh, let's see. Have you heard of some of the news over here lately? I don't know if you keep in track with any of the major stories or anything.
What in particular has
we've got
interest?
Well, we have this man who actually blew up a Tesla in front of the Trump Hotel.
Oh yeah, typical kind of stuff. Yeah.
Unfortunately, go ahead.
I'm surprised it wasn't Florida.
Yeah, man from Florida. He actually was active military. And unfortunately, he decided to go with the Tesla. And he had a whole manifesto and everything talking about how America isn't America anymore. And, they're concentrating too much on DEI and, what happened to the actual, I don't want to say good old days, but when we were stern or when America was thought of as a number one country. And I'm just paraphrasing. It is out there. I was thinking of grabbing the manifesto and having it for the show, but I didn't want to get too involved in it, and I definitely don't want us too involved in politics. So,
That's
but
probably a really good thing to say.
yeah, it's just kind of interesting. And from what I understand, he did say that he liked Trump and he had no problem with Elon Musk. But because of the way everything went recently with, and there it goes, sorry about that. The way everything went with our politics over here, anyways, and the way it's going now, one would think that if you turned around and you brought a Tesla up in the front of a Trump hotel, that you've got a little beef with a couple of people.
What actually went? What happened then? Did he blow it up himself?
He was in it, yeah.
Oh, he killed himself.
Yes, I didn't really want to say those words.
He unalived himself.
Yes, he unalived himself and set off a bunch of cans of gasoline and camping fluid and fireworks, believe it or not, that he had in the back of it was a Tesla truck, and he had it in the back. And that Tesla truck, it was pretty well built. It shot the explosion straight out the back of it. It really didn't go off to the side, so very little was damaged at all.
Poor planning.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, in this case, it's a good thing because did anybody else suffer? I hope not.
From what I understand, there was maybe I don't know, 4 people with superficial injuries, but nothing major.
Okay, so that's good that he was so stupid.
A gentleman down in New Orleans took a truck and just decided to mow over a bunch of people. And
Yeah, that keeps happening, doesn't it?
and he was retired military.
Why have you always got a tie to military?
I don't know, but he also turned around and was saying that he was with ISIS now, and I guess he had an ISIS flag in the back of the truck, and let's talk about Twitch.
I haven't used Twitch for some time. Streamers, I don't really watch, to be honest. I've just never found it that fun. I did briefly try being a streamer. I did get moderately successful one time, and then I don't know what happened, but I just sort of didn't do it anymore. And yeah, that's it. I don't watch anyone. Well, how have you been doing on your end though?
I haven't started my Twitch back up yet. Like I said, I was fooling around with some avatars, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, and I want to make sure that I have a constant schedule so that it's not just a hit and miss kind of thing for it. When I did it in the beginning, I had maybe 2 followers, but that's okay. What did you used to do when you were streaming?
Minecraft.
Oh, Minecraft. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Of course, like everybody else. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, I just what happened? Obviously, there were a few streams and whatnot, but on this one particular evening, I think the term is raided. I got raided, and wait, is that the term?
For when someone comes over from another stream.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
So yeah, I was just there building. It was like a strange house or mansion, whatever. And some of it was like embedded into the mountain. And it had a tower going up, and I made it so big. It wasn't as big as some of the other shit you've seen me build, but it was pretty big. And I don't know what made me want to do it. I ended up making it look very similar to the tower from Shrek. You know, when there's all lava at the bottom of it, and it looks kind of, creepy or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
was just kind of getting on with it, and I looked at the stream, and I thought, oh god, it's been like a couple of minutes since I checked on the chat when there was like one or two people saying something. And there was all these people commenting like, they were coming through like crazy, and I was going, "Oh my god, what the hell's happened here?" So I went to the top, and somebody said, like in capital letters, it's I don't know whether these were the exact words, but like something similar to, "It's a raid from someone else's stream," and there were these people saying like, "Oh, this is the next low key big streamer," and I was thinking, "No, fuck off. These people just they have ill intention. They don't mean it." That's the way I take compliments, though. I genuinely don't know how to deal with it. So yeah, I was
Right.
ecstatic, and yeah, it was pretty amazing for like one night, and then I don't know what happened. I just didn't do it anymore. But sometimes I do think about that, and I think, geez, what if I was like on the brink of success, fame at last? No, I don't know whether I would have liked fame, honestly.
Yeah. Then why'd you stream?
I don't really know. At the time, I think it just felt like Minecraft may have been a bit dead,
Okay.
So I just wanted to show a couple of people. I didn't think there was even a possibility of blowing up like that in
Right.
the space of like a few minutes.
When you have only a couple of watchers, you don't think somebody from a different stream is going to go, "Oh yeah, 2 watchers, let's rate it." But then again, maybe they did because they're like, "Oh, this might be someone starting out. Let's help them out."
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, though. You feel as though you're speaking to either yourself or just a really small number of people, and yeah, when it happens, it's just like it's really bizarre, It's a mixture of excitement, anxiety, and what's the word? Like the want or the desire to do something interesting, to keep people's attention. You want the engagement to keep on going.
Right.
It's almost like you're panicking. You're trying to do too much just to keep people's attention because you can see you've got it, and you're thinking, "Oh, how do I keep it going?" So the retention and the views and the comments, and it was a lot, And
Right.
in that singular moment, apparently I did okay, but I didn't know how to deal with it properly. But then again, I do panic a little bit, So
Yeah, I know.
yeah, that was my short Twitch story.
You're shot
It
to
was-
fame that you decided
was
to walk
bizarre.
away from.
I know, it was weird.
Mine, of course, was World of Warcraft, and like I said, I had a couple people. A couple people decided to follow me, which was cool. But I think what happened was I got into a rut, and I started kind of waning from playing the game itself, not streaming, but the game itself. So it kind of fell by the wayside. Had I had more of a following, maybe I would have pushed through it, but it was just, I'll get back to it. But now I have several different games, so if I really want to, I could just make it a gaming channel, stream all different types. I figure if I have enough games that I can play, that I won't burn myself out on one game, and I can just keep streaming and not have to worry about having a time off, as you could say, where that's concerned. But it's better with a lot of games. I think we need a lot of variety, just like on here with the podcast. We need a lot of variety, as far as I feel, on topics and just regular things for us to talk about. Better than total prescript. Let's call it that. Because that's not what we're doing. We're not reading from a script or anything. We might have different subjects that we're thinking of, but besides that, there's no script, and that way we can jump around to different things. And I also have a pretty good list, though it's wheeling down right now in the show because we seem to go through them fast. And I don't know, but I got some interesting things that I want to talk about, some things kind of comparable for the US and the UK, and see how that goes on our podcast. And we can just hurry it in and decide, what we're going to talk about, the normal stuff. Over here, just about everything you buy comes from China now.
Every day's recess, man. They tried a Taco Bell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I always knew about it because I've just been into American stuff since I was younger. But some people like it, obviously. There will always be someone who likes something. But I think generally the majority of the population, they're not giving it good reviews at the minute.
Well, KFC owns Taco Bell, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Did it?
Yep, they do. And here, they've integrated both. So when you go to a KFC, there's a Taco Bell in it as well, and you order whatever you order from the same register, from over the same counter, and they just, I guess the people in the back serving up the food know how to do it all. I mean, I would think that would be how they would have it. So almost 99% of the time, if you're in a KFC, you're also in a Taco Bell over here.
Wow. So, this is a good question then. If you went to a food court, there were multiple places to choose from. KFC and Taco Bell are offering their food at the same time. Are they in the same place, or are they separate stalls?
They're in the same place. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's the same people that are serving up the food. And they all get trained for all of it. So the people in the back who are preparing the meals or whatever, they know what they're doing, whether it's KFC or Taco Bell.
Big up to the to the staff there then. Sorry, I'm just dying. Yeah, great work, guys. That's an awful lot to do for minimum wage. So big up, shout out to you. And I know I'm not going to say who. We can keep that quiet. But somebody that you know, and I know a little bit, works at one of these fast food places, and it must be a lot of work for the money they get. So big up to those people.
Yeah, and even when closing time, if you're on the second shift, it's worse because you have to close down, wash up, and set up for the morning.
Fucking unbelievable, that.
How's your Jeep doing?
Oh, the Jeep. My poor baby. She's doing okay, but there's some work that needs to be done on her still. And I have to do it like piece by piece because we all know that we can't afford to just throw money on things at times, even if they're important. I've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3 different things that she needs on her. She needs an axle. She needs a new gasket over the gasket cover, the gasket valves. She needs a new exhaust system. And I just got done a new oil pressure switch. And so if you add that all together, it's close to $2,000 that I'm putting in there. So, and not many people, including myself, can just pop out $2,000 and say, "Here, do it all."
No.
So it's a save and do kind of thing. And you got to pick the most important things. Like the next thing being done is the axle, because we don't want that falling off and flipping the Jeep.
Can your friend not help? You know who I mean?
Oh yeah, he's my brother-in-law and my best friend. And I called him. I mean, because I was just looking, going, "Oh my God,
I didn't know if he wanted to be on here, but yeah.
Yeah, well, but who cares? He can yell at me. Better to do and apologize than to ask and get a no and do it anyways. But yeah, I thought about it afterwards because I'm looking at it, and I called my sister and I was talking with her about it. And I was like, well, I texted her, but still, it doesn't matter. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I brought it in for one thing, and they found 3 other things. So,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how much it's going to go for. And so finally, I talked to my other sister who was taking me to get the Jeep from the oil switch, pressure oil switch. And she looked at me and she's like, call your brother. We don't use the in-law part. It's like, call your brother. I'm sure he will be able to help you. So I was like, yeah, I kind of sort of didn't want to bother him, you know what I'm saying? And right now with the cold weather, he hardly does anything. Oh, no, you don't. Sorry. Cat. There's one of the cats in here.
Go on, it's okay.
She just loves when she sees me at my desk. She just loves to jump up on it and, annoy me. She was just getting ready to rub her head on the mic.
A few moments ago, did you hear a siren on my end go past?
No, I didn't.
It must have been too low. I was going to say, if you heard that, you're really lucky. I haven't heard one of those since the early 2000s, when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The police don't tend to use older cars. They have to be like a certain age. So that was really strange. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but I can find one.
Oh, that's another thing too that I wanted to talk about. But first we'll finish. So I called him, and he was like, when I said something about the axle, he's like, "Oh yeah, we can pop a new one, no problem." And he said, when it gets a little warmer out there, we'll check the valve cover. He didn't say nothing about the exhaust system, but we changed it before together. So hopefully it's only going to cost me parts to, get her fixed. And that's going to be a lot cheaper than...
What do you actually need? Is it the exhaust pipe or something?
From the muffler back. Yeah, so the exhaust pipe would be included. Though I don't know why it would be included, because I think the exhaust pipe is still good. The muffler itself is what's going. And I knew it would because we replaced it 2 years ago, and I got a really cheap one. And
do you have an inspection for the car?
Yeah.
You have something called an MOT. You got to do it every year to make sure the car is okay. Do you have one of them?
yeah, it's called an inspection. We call it an inspection.
So without the exhaust or muffler, you wouldn't pass.
Right.
Is that like a requirement you need?
Right, because the fumes.
Yeah. So it's like not a catalytic converter, but it's something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I was thinking is just take the bastard off and leave it until the inspection.
Yeah, but you can also get pulled over for it. It sounds.
How will they know?
It sounds like a jet engine when you pull a muffler off over here.
Yeah, but they're using what? Tauruses? Explorers.
Yeah, they're using SUVs out there.
They're probably the same size engine as your car. So you could just argue with the cops, like, your car is a bit too loud there, sir. Yeah, well, so is yours.
And that's when they give you the ticket.
No, they'll probably just pull a gun on you or something.
Right. Speaking of the police cars, that's what I wanted to go back to. You're talking about them using the old ones. What do they do when the car gets to certain miles and they feel they can't use it anymore?
They'd either scrap it or they'd sell it on an auction.
All right, just like over here. They do that. And I don't know how many times I've hated it because I've had a car behind me and it's, looks like the police car. So, you're doing that.
Oh.
Okay, stay the speed limit. Make sure you use your directional. Blah, 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 blah. Do I have my seatbelt on? Blah, 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 blah. And then, it passes you and you're looking at it and you're like, God damn it, that was an old car. Because there's no markings on it or anything. It's just like... And some of those people keep that damn spotlight on. Sometimes they do that. They keep the spotlight on when they're auctioning it off, so it goes with the car. And
that was something I didn't mention. 9 times out of 10, you can't tell that it used to be a police car. They'll remove the stuff off it. Yeah, 100%. There are sometimes giveaways. But, I mean, if you just take a glance at the car from the outside, it's not like, oh, this is a cop car. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Unless it's a certain type of car in a certain colour. You're not going to tell.
Yeah, they'll take the lights off because it's illegal for anybody to be using red or blue lights on their cars. So they will do that, but sometimes somebody puts a roof rack up there, and it almost looks like the light rack, and it's like, you bastard, coming around the corner. Why? Just why? I was thinking of buying one of those one time, but my engine's bigger than theirs, so.
Do you remember that guy on, it wasn't live.me, but it was a similar application to that. There was a guy on there who used to be a cop, and then he became a mechanic. In the US, and he used to talk about his Crown Vic. Do you remember that?
Yep. Oh, I remember
that was really cool.
Yeah, he was an awesome guy.
Yeah.
The old days.
Yeah, definitely.
I have older days than you, but that's okay. That's when I can.
How old were you in '98 then?
In 98. Give me a sec here. 98. Was about 30.
So you're old enough to be my dad.
I'm almost old enough to be your grandfather. That's what I say.
I'll have to start calling you Grandad Bill.
Yeah. Now, actually, it's GPA. GPA stands for grandfather. My grandkids call me that.
I wouldn't call you that. Your grandkids might hate me.
They wouldn't know because I don't think any of them would be interested in listening to our podcast. They're too busy doing their own thing at their own age, My oldest grandchild is 20, so yeah. But
They'd be interested if you got successful.
Yeah, that's when they'll probably be interested.
When Oprah calls you up, says, "Here's Bill from that fucking YouTube podcast," and everybody clap your hands and all that kind of stuff, and you walk on stage and you're like, "Oh, where's my counterpart? Oh, she's there," and then everybody's like, "Ah!"
Oprah, Miss, you in a car, you get a car, you get a car. everybody got a car underneath their seats in one of her shows. She did that.
Holy shit.
Snow?
Yeah, have you not got snow? We've got snow.
It's just spitting out here. It's just spitting little flakes.
Everybody in. It's spitting.
They were talking about a big snowstorm coming this way, 12 inches, blah, 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 blah. So I started watching the weather because I love snowstorms.
Me too.
And okay, I was going to say, excuse me for saying it this way, but the bloody thing went south of us.
Oh. Motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. So it's like,
that's racist.
But we're getting, isn't it? We're getting the cold weather, though. We're getting the cold snaps. Let me check for a second.
I once heard an American guy say UK Coke is better than US Coke.
Well, the thing is...
Because we use different shit.
Yes. Exactly.
Sorry, we use less shit, apparently. So, I don't know.
You guys have stricter laws when it comes to food.
Uh-huh. You know what always surprises me, though? When they put the ingredients on the screen, if you're watching like a TV show or a YouTube video, you can see it side by side. The American... I'm not saying this like against you, but like on the left, say, you can see the American stuff, and it's like a receipt, an invoice. It's like item after item, 10, 15, 20 items of like, what the hell? This is supposed to be a burger. Meat, bread, cheese. What more do you need? And then the UK one is just like, yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What the hell?
It's just the way it is. You guys have more restrictions. We use more chemicals than the world could ever think of, as far as I'm concerned. You know, we've got all those, I don't even know if I've got something around here I could read that would be food-based. You know, they don't put it on the drink, so I couldn't tell you. But
shall we continue the conversation into next week?
Give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, we'll take the thumbs down. It's the same thing, to be honest. We'll just cry a little.
I'll take any. I'll take a finger, a thumb, you name it.
Yeah, there you go. Subscribe. Hit the little bell so that you'll know exactly when a new episode pops up. And once again, thank you very much. And from my part, I'd like to say take care and be well. And I'm going to give it over to you, Stacy. Say goodbye.
We love you. Goodbye.